Hey there everyone, this is Mystic Fish and welcome to episode 8 of our Factorio series on building a cellular megabase. Let's see, where are we at? Last episode we kind of laid out approximately what would be needed if we were building things with a bunch of modules in it. We're going to revisit that in this episode here. A few things, folks noted that wait a minute, these beacons are actually not lined up. That's actually okay. We're going to pick them up anyway to lay them back out again. And we had one viewer, Maxim, who noted that these buffer chests are actually not lined up right. So if we are to go here and shift left click to slide up, whoops. That's not what we wanted. Are you coming back around? All right, you're coming back around. All right, stop. Let's see. You should circuit condition green greater than 0. Okay, go there. Anyway, Maxim noted that we actually did not get these buffer chests lined up correctly. Which we can see if we pull this up. We can see that we're sort of off by 2 here, and we actually need to slide these things back, like so. Fortunately, it still lines up okay here, but it means that this combinator is out of position, unfortunately. And let's see, we need to slide this stuff. And because that one is out of position, we actually have to restamp our blueprint for the stem cell, which we're going to do momentarily. But before we do that, I was actually thinking about this logic that we have here. And I think that this is... Yeah, we got random crap put in there. Okay. Stuff from my trash. Okay, we'll put that in there. I should not have that. Okay. So let's see. I think the problem here is, I wonder if 3 ticks is actually going to be enough. And I wonder if it wouldn't be better to do something like, hey, we've had 50 idle construction robots for 30 seconds and use that as our signal. And so I think we're going to set up the circuit network stuff for that right now. And okay, what are we going to do here? All right, so the first thing we need is a counter. So we need a loop back like this. And then we need a constant combinator like this. And we're going to count ticks. So we're going to say T for tick is 1. And then this is going to be remembered. And so what we will do is we'll say if T is less than sort of the certain number that we want, then output T. And so I believe what this will do, and we can see it, is this counts up to, this. In this case, T counts up to 30 and then resets. So there are 60 seconds. Here, let's make this 60 because there are 60 ticks per second. And so the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to say if T is 0, then output a clock signal. And so this should, about once a second, put a C on the wire, which we can kind of see it. You can kind of see it flickering over there. But in this case, we actually want to do, I think we want to do something like 30 seconds. So instead of doing 60, that's 1 second, we actually want to do 30 seconds, which is going to be 1800. Okay, so once every 30 seconds, this is going to produce a C signal. Okay. Now, the next thing that we're going to do is we are going to get the robot statistics from here, right? And the number of available construction bots is Z. Okay, so we're gonna say if Z is less than 50, then we're going to assume the construction bots are busy, and I'm gonna output a construction bot. Okay, then we're gonna make an RS latch. And so in this case, it's going to be if the bots are greater than the clock, then output the bots. And so that is, so we've got the bots going in there, and we've got C coming in here. And so it should be the case, and we actually don't have any, right? So so it's saying, hey, construction bots are actually busy. I wonder if I should put some in. Good question, but that's okay. And so what this will do is when the clock fires, that will be the reset signal for the RS latch. And then we're going to do one more thing, which is we're going to say on the clock, if we have the clock, actually do we want XOR here? We don't actually want XOR here. So we want the clock and no robots, right? So if we have busy construction bots, we're going to remember that we've seen busy construction bots. And then when the clock fires, we're going to say, I want, if this is true and we've got the construction bots, then we are not ready for logistics bots. Okay, so that's probably the easiest thing to do here. So we're going to say, all right, logistics bots, get rid of this guy, and C. Or sorry, construction bots and C. So if we've got construction bots and C, I think this is not actually what we want. Okay, if we see construction bots and C, we are not ready for logistics bots. Okay, so we'll put a red signal out here. And then, let's see, what do we want here? Is that what we want? I feel like there's an easier way to do this. Okay, so we want the clock fire and no construction bots. Okay, so let's just make this easy. Let's just say, oh, we need, sorry, the loop back, because you are a latch, a memory latch, little RS latch here. Okay. Okay, so we're going to say if bots are greater than 0, then, or if bots are 0, then we're going to output go. Or we're going to say logistics bots. Okay, so if we haven't seen busy construction bots, then we might be ready for logistics bots. And then the last thing I think we want to do is we want to say, all right, one more thing here. We're just going to have one more memory cell. Oops, sorry. Okay, and right. Okay, so we need a memory cell here. A little latch. And we're going to say, if the logistics bots are greater than, and we'll use C for the reset, then output green, or I guess we can output logistics bots. We are ready. Good. I think that will do it, right? So if we've got idle construction, That's not actually what we want. That's not quite what we want. It's not quite what we want. What we want, first we have to do this. We have to say, right, so if we've seen busy construction bots, then we will not have logistics bots, right? Because we'll remember we've seen busy construction bots. So construction bots will be 1, right? And then, right, construction bots will be 1. And then because construction bots is 1, then logistics bots will be 0. And so what we want here are, we want logistics bots and the clock signal. Okay, this is what we want. And then we're gonna say we're really ready for the logistics bots. So that means that we have not seen busy construction bots in 30 seconds. Okay, so let's get the clock signal into here. Let's get this logistic bot signal into here. And then after that, we will do one more thing, which is we want this to be stable. So once we've seen that, we'll do one more thing. We'll just say, if logistics spots is greater than 0, output logistics spots. Okay. All right, so once we've gone 30 seconds with seeing 0 busy construction bots, then we're gonna fire the logistics box here, and then we're just gonna remember that we're ready for logistics bots after that. Okay, whew. Okay, then that means we can go up here and we can say you are ready for logistics bots if this is greater than 0. Okay, good stuff. All right, and then the last thing that I wanna do is I wanna put a speaker. Okay, so we'll use the same guy here. And here we're going to say global playback, show alert. And we're going to say if logistics bots are greater than 0, fine. And then what we're going to do is we're going to say this is ready. We're gonna mark this for. We're gonna say you're ready to start the trains. So I think that's what we want. So once we're ready for logistics bots, then we can also come in. It means we've also built the new trains here, and we can come in and do it. Okay, whew. All right, so we're gonna do that. That's gonna be our new. We're gonna see how well that works. And let's see. So we're gonna need to redo the stem cell blueprint because we moved this thing. That's okay. That covers all that. All right. Now, the other thing, a few people have said, you know, and what's very clear, right, when we're looking at this plan here, right, like most of the work here is producing modules. And so one question that I have, but like, that's not actually really the job, right? The job is producing the miners and the tracks and the drop-off stuff and the tanks and things like that. And so maybe we don't need to use the modules. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go off camera. I'm gonna fix the blueprint for the stem cell, and then I'm gonna load up a different factory planner that has just sort of the basics, and we'll use pretty low tech to see if we can actually we could actually build the materials that we need to replicate it in less than an hour. So stay tuned and we'll be right back. Hey there, we are back, and so I have made a new factory plan called the Mining Cell Simplified, and pretty much just went for the set of stuff that was in what we needed to replicate. And so, you know, definitely has a fair amount of resource usage here, mostly in terms of iron. So this is 2.6K iron per minute. Let's come down here. A little curious what the rate of this guy is. 14K per minute. So 14 divided by 2.6. All right, that's 5 something. So by the time we get 4 mining cells going, the iron mining cell will have just a little bit of spare capacity to it. But I think that's okay, because I don't think we'll be, well, we'll have to see. I think as we go, that'll get better as we research more mining productivity. We will get, we'll get more throughput out of the mining. And the more mining cells we build, the less often we're going, the more that we will probably be blocked on just ourselves building the mining cell. So I think it will actually be okay. Now, let's see about maybe setting this up. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to get just a couple of extra roboports up here in this line. I think we want roboports in a line here, and maybe roboports in a line here. Nope, that doesn't quite reach all the way, but that's okay. All right, let's see what we need to do. I think I want to start with the oil processing. And let's see, 1, 2. Let's come maybe this far over. Okay, so we said we're going to have 1 advanced oil processing, and then we're going to have, actually maybe we can bring these close like this. We said we were going to have, let's see, what does this say? Let's scroll down to the bottom. All right, we need 4 oil refineries with coal liquefaction. So the thing with coal liquefaction is we have to feed the output back into the input because coal liquefaction has both heavy oil as an input and as an output. So we will need to do that. Whoops. And let's see, we need 4 of these. Okay. Let's see, what else? Then I think what we want to do is, oops. I think we need to, oops, I don't want to do this here, I want to do this here. And all right, let's set these up. All right, so we'll feed these all together here like this. All right, next, I think from here, what we're going to do is we're going to get storage tanks. So we're going to set these up like this. So the heavy oil will come into here. All the outputs are connected here. Then we'll have the light oil go into here and the petroleum gas into here. Okay, nice. Now we're going to set up some circuit network and pumps here so that we only run these things when we need them. So first thing is we need to get oil in here. Let's see, this is the oil. Except I don't have it lined up. There we go. All right, so the question is, when do we want to run the oil? I think there's 2 cases. Okay, coal liquefaction, if we look at that recipe, the recipe requires 25 heavy oil. So I think if we look at the heavy oil tank and there is less than 25 heavy oil in the tank, then we need to call for oil. We need to run the advanced oil processing. because we're probably still priming the pump at that time. The other case is if, and let's see, we need probably an extra hole here. The other case is if we don't have enough petroleum gas. And so what are the main things we use petroleum gas for? That is going to be generally plastic, which takes 20, and sulfur, which takes 30 petroleum gas. So we want to make sure we have maybe enough for 2 cycles. So if we have less than 60 petroleum gas, then we're also going to call for oil. Okay, good stuff there. Next, let's see, we need to pass the steam in here for the coal liquefaction. And we will also control this one. Let's see, let's get a boiler, which is here. All right, and then let's see, we are going to need, we'll run this off solid fuel. So you should ask for 5 solid fuel. And then we need to get water in here. Let's see. All right, that will be the water. Okay. So that will. All right, I think that's the main oil processing here. And so, okay, when do we need to run the coal liquefaction? I think there's also 2 cases here. One of which is if we don't have enough heavy oil, and the main thing we use heavy oil for is lubricant. So if we have less than 20 heavy oil, I guess we can turn these this way. All right, so here's the heavy oil. If the heavy oil is less than 20, then we're going to call for steam, and you will go into that pump. So this will be enabled if steam is greater than 0. We did not finish putting this stuff in up here. Let's use the red wires for the control. Okay, and you will be enabled if oil is greater than 0. And then if we don't have enough light oil, would be the other one. And so this takes 10 light oil. And this takes 10 light oil. So if we have less than 20 light oil, we also want to run this. So that can be done by taking this. Will this reach here? No. Will it reach there? It will. So we can do this. And then take or actually what we can do is we can do this. And then feed you into there. Okay, and so if the light oil is less than 20, we also want to run the pump. Okay, so that's going to control things. Now, when we think about how are we going to get the solid fuel in here in the first place, we'll be able to run. I think we'll be able to run this long enough that we can start manufacturing the solid fuel down here. So, so the other thing could be, just to make sure that we can prime the pump, what if we let's request 10 in here of coal, but Okay, we can read the contents here. This should only be enabled if solid fuel is less than 1. So if we don't have any solid fuel, then you should go ahead and use the coal to power this. Okay. That'll make sure that we can run this thing, and as soon as we get enough heavy oil, we can start doing the coal liquefaction. Okay, good stuff. All right, now let's work on processing the heavy oil. First thing will be, let's get a chem plant. So the main place that we want, just a moment. All right, pardon the doorbell there. Okay, this is going to be lubricant, and we're going to get a pump. So the idea will be that, and I suppose I should just take this off, and then I can connect this like this. We'll work out power in a minute. But I think the idea is that whatever heavy oil in here this pump will always be on and will get us to use the lubricant. Okay, so then the question is, okay, we need heavy oil cracking for the rest of it. So this claims we need 2.5 chemical plants worth for heavy oil cracking. However, I think, and this is the reason that I like to use coal liquefaction for this, is we may end up with, we may be a little unpredictable about which type of oil product we need at any given point in time. And so I like the coal liquefaction better because we get mostly heavy oil, some light oil, and a little bit of petroleum gas. Because we can get rid of excess heavy oil by cracking it, we can get rid of excess light oil by cracking it, but there's not really a good way to get rid of extra petroleum gas. Like we're gonna see how to do that in a minute. But this minimizes the product that is the hardest to get rid of. So I think that's okay. But anyway, what we're gonna do here, so here's what we use the rate calculator here, and these produce a net 3120 heavy oil per minute. And so if we get a heavy oil cracking, you can consume 1200. So we need 3 of these. Okay. So we need 3 in order to get rid of all of the heavy oil we might have. Now for this, let's see. That's a little, oh, we got some like extra pipes in here. Okay, let's see if we can do this. Will this go here? Okay, it appears it will. Okay. All right, that gets all the heavy oil in. Then we can get the light oil back out. And we need to get the light oil into here somehow. Into the tank. That looks okay. All right, but we need to get water into these guys. All right, so let's come out this way. Let's run the water up the side. How do we get into the water here? That's a little unfortunate. I guess we'll go this way. All right, that will work. All right, so that's all of the heavy oil cracking. So, so next up, we need to, and we need to figure out when is this thing going to activate. So, let's see, if we have let's see, the product. So this generates 75 net heavy oil. So we've got 4 of them, so that's 300. So I think we're gonna say if we have more than 300, we're gonna crack. So we'll get the heavy oil into here. So if, maybe we'll go a little higher. Let's say, let's do 600. More than 600, we're going to crack. Okay, that's good stuff. Okay, next up is going to be the, we need to now work on the light oil. And so we have 3 things making solid fuel, which we can go this way on these. All right, solid fuel. This will become a pump. This is where we prefer I guess we'll just do it this way. Okay, and then you can generate these like this. We should probably make you just 1 stack each. Okay. That will be the light oil. And then the other thing we use it for is rocket fuel. Where's the rocket fuel? Here it is. 1 machine making rocket fuel. So that is one of these guys. You're gonna make rocket fuel. And then I guess we'll just continue this along the way. And then we need to work out cracking. So this says we need at least 3 for cracking in the steady state. So we know we need at least 3. But the question is, how much do we potentially need to crack here? And I think that is, if we look at this, this produces 960 plus 3120. Okay, so hold on. I'm gonna write this down here. All right, so we've got 960. That's the raw. Then this makes 3120 of the heavy oil. And you, if we crack you, how much do you consume? You take 900 and make 600. Or you just consume 900 per minute. So I need oh. No, that's not what I wanted. That's not what I want to do. What I want to do is figure out this guy. All right, this guy takes 3120 and turns it like this. Okay, 3120 heavy oil times 900 light oil divided by 1200 heavy oil, 2340. Okay, and what was in here? 2340 plus 960 is 3300. Okay, so I'm going to end up with 3,300 light oil that I might need to crack. All right, and then so now we can see what the rate of this guy is. Okay, so this was 3,300, so 4 of these will work. Okay, so 4 of these. I guess we can do, where do we want to put this? I guess we can put it here. Oh, this thing's in the way. All right. All right, then this is not exactly lined up, but I think that's okay. So what we'll do is this. All right, and then this will be a pump. Okay, and when will this pump be activated? This pump will be activated if we have too much light oil. So that will be, actually let's do this with red wires. Okay, red wire from here to here. And if light oil greater than 600, then we're gonna crack it. All right, then we need water down here. So we also need to come down this way. All right, that's the cracking. Okay, and then the last thing that we need to worry about is, let's see, we need to get the petroleum gas processed here. And let's see, this will output here. So this will be the petroleum gas, so that can flow into there, so that's good. And then, okay, from here, the main things we need petroleum gas for are plastic. So plastic, we need 2 chem plants for plastic. All right, plastic. And these will be connected even from up here, so the plastic can still get it. So that's okay. Although, why don't we do this just to make it clear that we want to prioritize sending this way. Then we need to a requester chest and a requester chest and passive provider chests. We'll copy paste. That puts 30 seconds worth of recipe in there. Okay, you go this way and that way. And then you will need to come here. We will also need sulfur. Conveniently enough, we could come across for sulfur. Sulfur okay, so we're going to need water coming back this way. There's our water. And you will just output stuff. Okay. Oh, I suppose I should check how many sulfurs we need. Yeah, just 1. What else? And then we need water for explosives. And you get coal and sulfur, so we can just do something like this. Okay. We need the explosives for our cliff explosives. Okay. I think that's everything that, all right, that doesn't use petroleum gas, but I think this is everything that uses petroleum gas. So then the last thing is we need a way to get rid of excess petroleum gas. And so the question is, how much excess could we have? And I think the worst case is when we only need heavy oil. So that's going to produce 480 petroleum gas and 960 light oil. Okay, so let's remember that. 480 petroleum gas. Let's write that down. Okay, and then 960 light oil, which when it cracks down, 960 times 600 divided by 900. It's going to be 640 plus 480. Did I do that right? Yeah, 1120. Okay, and then we get rid of the extra petroleum gas. Here by turning it into solid fuel. And this does it at 600, so 2 of these will be enough. Okay, and then we need this guy here. And then we need pipes like this. And then we need active provider chests. So we can tuck one there and one there. Okay, so we can burn these guys off. Okay. Right. So that's enough to get rid of this. So then the question is, how much does this generate? This generates 60 solid fuel per minute, or 1 per second. There are 12 megajoules of energy in one thing of solid fuel, so that's 12 megawatts that we need to somehow burn off. If we take a look at this, okay, 12 megawatts. A steam turbine can burn off 5.82 of it. But we'll only be able to run the steam turbine when the solar panels aren't working. So we can really only run these at night, which means that I think it's nighttime 30% of the time. So we have to divide by 0.3, and that gives us 7 steam turbines. So I think we can come down here and just do something like this. All right, let's keep this coming down here. Okay, let's get... That's 7. This consumes 60 steam per second. A boiler generates 60 steam per second. So 1 boiler per steam turbine. And then this will go here. Okay. Now, final bit is we need to get rid of the excess solid fuel. So I think what we want to do is let's get an arithmetic combinator. Let's see. We're going to need to, I want to get a substation in here that can cover all of these. Which if it goes there, it can, which means I need to slide this guy over. Okay, so we'll put the substation in there. Okay, then we need one of these and one of these. Okay, so what we want are, give me the logistics network contents. So we need to see how much solid fuel we have. Let's hold. Let's say it's okay to have, let's say 200 solid fuel in reserve. We make it negative so that we can subtract it here. Then we say, give me the solid fuel, divide that by 7. Output the solid fuel, and then this is how we want all of these these buffer chests to set their requests. So you're going to set requests. Okay. You set requests, good. And then we need to feed this in. Oh, we're going to move you over. So they're in substation range. Okay. I think that covers most of the most of the liquid processing stuff. The one exception here is going to be the lubricant, which we have not consumed yet. And the only place that that is consumed is in electric engines, which are here, and we need 2 electric engines. So we should be able to just hop down here like this. Let's see. Don't need this anymore. Okay, 2 electric engines. You are the lubricant. All right, let's get. Let's see. Let's get one of these. Not all of that. Just these 2. All right. Excellent. And now I think that's. Is that most of the? I guess we also have a need for sulfuric acid and batteries. So sulfuric acid also needs water. Is there a way to get water in here? Sure there is. Let's see. If we slide you over. No, this is fine. All right, sulfuric acid. Do we just need 1? Yeah. Okay, then that means we can grab one of these dealies. Oh, that's not the way we want that to work. But we can fix that like this. All right, so that gets the water in there. How many batteries do we need? One thing making batteries. Batteries. Spin you around like that. Sulfuric acid gets in there. And then you require stuff. So, but you don't have solid outputs. But you do. I guess we'll put it down here. Okay, good. I think that's all our fluids. That is pretty wild. Okay, next up, we're going to do smelting. I think I want to do a bunch of this stuff off camera because it's going to be a lot of futzing, but I do want to just show a little bit about how this is going to work here. So if we look at copper, we need 27 steel furnaces making copper. So that's going to look like same thing. Limit the output. All right, now we need to go figure out what the rate is of this stuff, which rate calculator won't work if we don't see the recipe. So here's one making. Okay, so this is consuming, let's call it 38 copper ore per minute. So we just need half of that. So we'll say 19 copper ore and 1 solid fuel. Okay, so we'll do that for all of the copper and iron and steel. Most things are going to look like this, right? We're going to just use requester chests and output chests. And so I'm going to go off camera and set the rest of this up. And I will be back once I have done that. Okay, we are back and we have a wide array of stuff here. So just for some quick orientation here, we have all of our smelting up close to where the ores get dropped off. We already saw a lot of the liquid processing that we saw before. Most things are just otherwise grouped up, so we have sort of the basic intermediates, gears, copper wires, sticks, things like that, green circuits, and red circuits. Sort of like moving along this way, and then all of the materials are sort of based around that. Trying to group things together where possible. So for example, we've got the steel chests here, and then we have all the logistic chests around it. The stuff for the cliff explosives is close to the explosives, etc. So this is all grouped up. This is exciting. I think the last thing that we're going to do is we need to come up here and we need to make a plan for what stuff is going to go where. Now, we already know the logistics spots need to be in here. And I'm actually thinking that we only do a handful here, and we let the cell build the rest of the logistics spots it needs on its own. And so here's how I think we can do that. We can get a requester chest here. We can ask for one logistics spot. Just one. And now, what we're going to do is we are going to get a decider combinator. Let's get robot statistics here. Okay, good. All right, so I think if we get to the point where X is 0 at some point in 30 seconds, meaning we used all our logistics spots, at some point in the last 30 seconds, we should probably put one more in. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to say, and sorry, which one was that? That's available logistics spots, X. So if X equals 0, and we're going to say we need logistics spots, please. Okay, then what we'll do is we'll go from here to here, and we'll get the loop back. We have our counter over here that has our clock on it, so we can paste that in there as well. So we can say logistics spot greater than C. I'll put logistics spot. And then I think what we want to do is we get an arithmetic combinator, and we get the output from here, and we get the C from here, and we say if I have a logistics spot and C, then I'll put logistics spot. And then this logistics spot here will control this guy. So this will be enabled if logistics spot greater than 0. All right, so this is the same thing, right? If we ran out of logistics spots at some point in the last 30 seconds, then go ahead and stick one in. And so the nice thing about this is that I think this will let us start with a smaller number of logistics spots, which will be nice. But especially as we continue researching bot speed, right? Where is that? Movement speed, right? Like we've already done some number of speed upgrades, but as we keep doing research, they're going to get faster, which means we'll need fewer logistics spots per cell. So I kind of like the idea of starting small and letting it increment up. So I think we can do that. All right, then the last thing we need to do is we need to stick stuff in here. So to that extent, we're going to reserve the space for logistic spots here. So here we'll request logistic spot, 250. That's what we're putting in. Okay. Right. And so what we have to do is go back around and put these all in. So for example, rails, we know that there are like 1,500 rails, right? So we know that we want to do something like this. And we can make this guy give me 1,500 rails. Okay. So I think I'm going to do the rest of the setting of the buffer chest offline. And I think we're going to call this an episode for today. Next episode, I think we're gonna hook this thing up and see how well it works. So stay tuned for that. I'm sure debugging it will be a problem for future Mystic Fish. But we'll end it there. So as always, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. And until then, bye.